The 2 weeks of Arsenal's break, all winter break, are off, and they are returning to action away at the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest hosts its games. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. It's a Monday, and the game of football is going to be played tomorrow, and Arsenal is really loaded, and Arteta is really high in gear to see to it that his side goes ahead to really humiliate the side of Nottingham Forest. Remember, Arsenal going to this game of football when they are 5 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool is topping the Premier League table with 48 points. Arsenal is tied with Man City on 43 points. But remember, Arsenal has gone ahead to play one more game than Man City, meaning that Man City has a game in hand to obviously play to see to it that they go off Arsenal if at all they win this game of football. Meaning that this game is very crucial. If Arsenal win it, they are going to hit what we call 46 points, and they'll be 3 points ahead of Man City and 2 points behind Liverpool, and they would have gone ahead to play their 22nd match of the Premier League season, and they will be left with 16 games to go to obviously make it a season. And that shows you that in the 21 games Arsenal have gone ahead to play, they've gone ahead to collect 43 points, and they are now left with they've collected 43 points, and they're left with how many points? If they are left with 17 games, that means they're having 51 points on their card. How many are they gonna really do? Remember, last season Arsenal got 84 points, meaning that they are 41 points away from equaling the number of points they got last season. That means to hit 85 points, they need to win how many games? 10, that is 30, 15. So Arsenal need to win like 13 games. Yep. They need to win like 13 games out of the remaining 17 to obviously hit the mark they really had last season. Are they gonna really hit that mark? We wait and see whether that will happen. Welcome to this channel. Rokani David is my name. We thank God for the gift of life. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. For the side of Nottingham Forest, they are placed 15th, and they're having 21 points. They are 6 points ahead of the relegation zone. Luton Town is placed 18th, and they're having 16 points, meaning that Nottingham Forest, Nottingham is just 4 points. Nottingham is 16th, and they are just 4 points off the relegation zone, meaning that they are not yet safe. They are not yet safe, and they are also one of the teams that are being investigated by the Premier League on violating the Premier League financial fair play regulations, and that might lead to them really losing their points in the best way possible. When you go to the side of Arsenal, they've gone ahead to win their game, and Nottingham Forest lost 3-2 in their previous game they went ahead to play. So for Arsenal, they've been really winning, and Nottingham lost to Brentford by 3-2, and you remember that game where Ivan Toney went ahead to score a very good free kick. So tomorrow they're taking on a side called Arsenal, and all will go on as planned. Mikel Arteta is really very happy because Declan Rice, who has been really a doubt for this game, is expected to return and make his return into the starting 11 of Arsenal. Thomas Partey is back into the team of Arsenal, and Mohamed Elneny also back, but I don't think he's going to play into this team. Having gone ahead to get relegated yesterday, I think he'll get some time, and he won't travel direct to London. He'll spend some days in Egypt, and I think he'll travel later to join Arsenal at the end of this week. Takahiro Tomiyasu is also going into the quarterfinal in the Asian Cup, so don't expect him to be here. Julian Timber and Fabio Vieira are really out, and Julian Timber is having an ACL injury, and Fabio Vieira is fighting with a groin injury, but Thomas Partey is back. When you look at the side of Nottingham Forest, they're a little bit weak because Aina, Koyate, Willie Boyle, Serge Aurier, Ibrahim Sangare, and Moussa Niakhaté are at the AFCON. That is it. So they're going to be out of that game. Nuno Tavares is not going to be playing into that game because Arsenal loaned him to that side, so he cannot obviously play. And they're going to have to put in a very good effort. Anthony Elanga, he got a thigh injury when they are playing Bristol City in the FA Cup, I think over the weekend, and Divock Origi is having a groin injury, and they are all out of the tie. So we just can't wait to see how that is going to be done. But Elanga and Origi have to obviously go to the late fitness test to see if they can obviously come into this game of football. But Morgan Gibbs-White is in line to return because of a restricted half cameo as Ashton gets. So wait and see how that's going to happen. So those are the players that you least expect to obviously start and be part of the squad. But Arsenal need to win this game of football badly, and they need to register this win. When we go to the predicted starting 11 of Arsenal, remember, Arsenal came back and won by Arsenal came back and beat Crystal Palace by 5-0. In that game, we saw to it that Martinelli went ahead to score a brace, Trossard and Gabriel Magalhaes scoring a brace. So, two Arsenal players went ahead to score a brace, and we get into this game of football. And the system we anticipate that Mikel Arteta is going to field is going to be a 4-3-3 system. And in that 4-3 system, we obviously know that the first choice goalkeeper of Arsenal is David Raya. No doubt onto that, because he has been confirmed, and Arsenal are preparing money to make this deal permanent. And to show to it that this deal is going to be made permanent, Brentford is going to hate to obviously get in a goalkeeper to replace David Raya. That is it. On the right back, we are going to see Benjamin White coming in through to play as the right back for the side of Arsenal. On the left back, it's going to be Zinchenko, man who really does well and inverts better. And if anyone watched the game, the game United beat Newport by 4-2, look at the third goal. You saw what Luke Shaw did. If you invert inside, you have all the space to really run into the Tina's box area and sit people down. I think, however much Zinchenko is not that kind of player that spreads wide onto the field, but every time he inverts inside, I think he has a lot to offer. He can go past players, he can sit them down and maybe create an assist like that. So I think he should add that every time he invert into that process. In the central defense, right-sided centre-back, it's William Saliba playing onto the right side of the central defense alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, a man who went ahead to score a brace against Crystal Palace. I think that back five is really good for Arsenal, and it can win against Nottingham Forest at City Ground. I know Nottingham is really a changed side because of the new manager Nuno Espirito, but an Arsenal that has the hunger to win the league has to show us that these are matches that they cannot hesitate going for, and they should win this game hands down and as soon as possible. We go to the midfield. Thomas Partey returning. Declan Rice is also back. Jorginho also available. Who is Arteta going to pick as the CDM? I think it's all going to go to Declan Rice. There is no way to rush Thomas Partey into the starting 11. And I think unless otherwise, Declan Rice is not fully healed, that's when we'll see a huge change coming in from Mikel Arteta. But I believe it's going to be Declan Rice into that position alongside Martin Odegaard, the captain, to play in the midfield alongside him and Kai Havertz. I think he's going to maintain that midfield three because he believes that that's the midfield that is going to go ahead and really do wonders for the manager of Arsenal. That is it. So I don't really doubt that midfield three because that's going to show us that they're really doing wonders, but they need to obviously open up and really create more chances for their number 9. And we really go to the most contagious positions in the front three. On the right forward, we all know how this guy is struggling. That is it. We know how struggleful Bukayo Saka is this season, but the manager is going to hate obviously keep him on the field of play. I wish he would do what he's going to hate to do to Martinelli. That when Martinelli is fighting for his form, to get back, one player known as Trossard is going to hate to start ahead of him. And I think Arteta should shock this guy. At least get Reece Nelson in there for you, but I think he's not going to do it. And guess who is going to start in that position? It's going to be him. It's going to be Bukayo Saka. And for Bukayo Saka, it has been really long since he last performed well for Arsenal. That is it. Even when he scored a goal against Fulham, he never performed well. So we want to see Saka get back to levels he wants to be. I keep my word and I keep my stance. If Arsenal want to put in a fight for the trophy, they need Bukayo Saka and Martinelli to get back to where they need to switch on. They need to switch on and get in assists and goals, Though I think Saka is in line to obviously score 20 goals in the Premier League season because his stats are obviously showing us that he's moving towards that. When you look at his stats this season, Saka has gone ahead to play 20 Premier League games, 6 goals and 7 assists, meaning that he's 14 goals away from making it 20 in the Premier League only. I'm not talking about the Champions League because he has 3 goals in the Champions League. I think he can get going and going and going this season. All he has to do is simple. Do the needful, get in goals and these assists. 7 assists are good for him, but according to the levels we've always gone ahead to know him performing at, he needs to obviously improve and really become a better player to get Arsenal to the rescue. But I think he's going to be facing a left back, and it's not going to really look like hard for him to obviously break down, because I think Murillo is going to be the left back that is going to be facing into that team. So I think he has to do the needful, and Arsenal needs to obviously send a message that we are back in the near. Scoring 5 against Crystal Palace, let's also score 4 or 5 against Nottingham and send a message that we've gone ahead to switch on from where we ended our season. Then left forward, this is really very controversial. If I'm Mikel Arteta, and I think he's going to do it, Martinelli should come off the bench. That is it. He gets you more off the bench than what Trossard gets you off the bench, meaning that you better start Trossard and then get Martinelli as a plan B, because teams like Crystal Palace will use a lot of energy, and for the last 30 minutes, this guy will come in front, obviously, with the needful on the field of play. So I go with none other than Trossard to start as a left forward in the team, because I know he's going to really work a lot, invert a lot in the midfield. He has gone ahead to score a goal against Crystal Palace, get him a chance again into the starting 11. And I want him to really pick these players on merit. Trust me, Trossard is a better player right now at Arsenal, and he should be starting ahead of Martinelli. Even if Martinelli comes off the bench and scores, that doesn't get him back into the starting 11, because every time he has gone ahead to get back in the starting 11 after scoring like a goal or putting in a brilliant performance, he has gone ahead to produce the same bullshit on the field of play. And all he has to do is simple: get Trossard onto the left forward of Arsenal, and he will obviously get you magic, and let Martinelli come off the bench and maybe continue to score goals. It's always, by the way, good to have a player like Martinelli off the bench coming through and score a brace like he did against Crystal Palace. Meaning that if you are having that player in you, even the opponent will get to know that, all right, there is a player called Martinelli, and you, the manager, will be 100% sure that my bench can turn around a game. Though he came on through and the game is done and dusted, but scoring those 2 goals was very important for Martinelli. But a Trossard who has 7 goals this season, I think he deserves to start ahead of Gabriel Martinelli. Who is leading the line? Edin Ketia or Gabriel Jesus? On any day, I'll tell you, I go Gabriel Jesus to lead the line for the club of Arsenal. Why? You saw how unselfish he is, and for the third goal in the game of Crystal Palace, he comes in with an assist on the duty. And this is what these other players should be doing in for Gabriel Jesus. I've seen people argue out that he doesn't score goals, but go on to the stats and ask yourself, how many big chances has he gone ahead to miss, and how many balls have been delivered in the team's box area when he's not there? You know, he's this kind of person who will start a run in his own half, and by the time the ball is in the box, this guy has already gone ahead to arrive. These people are not getting or using him effectively. They need to create him chances. And I want me to come here and judge Gabriel Jesus as a person who is not clinical according to the number of chances he's going to hit to miss. I have a stat that I've always going to hit to let you know about Gabriel Jesus, that last season, the highest goal scorer in the Premier League missed the most number of big chances created. That is Erling Haaland. He missed close to 37 chances that were big chances and would have gone ahead to convert them into the back of the net. So when people come out here and obviously try to put out stories, I respect everyone's opinion, but we should really have facts on our fingertips when it comes to that. So to me, I start Gabriel Jesus, and I would like to see him really score another goal tomorrow. So that is my starting 11 for the side of Arsenal, and I don't know what your thoughts are about it. But when you go to Nottingham Forest, we really anticipate that it will be Matt Turner in goal, who formerly played for Arsenal. Then Montiel, I think, will play as the right back. Ombamamile, Murillo and Toffolo, those will be in the back 4. Then Mangala, Yetis, and Gibbs-White, Danilo, Hudson-Odoi, and Wood. So Arsenal should really keep a tight eye onto Wood. Wood is really on fire, and when you look at what has gonna hate to score this season, he has gonna hate to put in very many goals. And Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest has gonna hate to score 8 goals in 19 games. But remember, he has gonna hate to score most of his goals ever since this Portuguese manager Nuno Espirito went ahead to come in through. So they should really look a lot about him, and they should really understand that he's gonna be a threat. Gibson White is also a player that you should keep an eye on because he's also good at what he does. And this other player known as Calmson Odoi, you know, he is gonna give the fullbacks of Arsenal some hard time. But I know Arsenal will obviously have to really not succumb to that, and they'll obviously create chances that are really well desired. Now, let's go to the head-to-head stats coming in through from Google as far as this fixture is really concerned. They've told us that Nottingham Forest have won their last 3 home games against Arsenal in all competitions, winning FA Cup ties in 2018, 4-2, and 2022, 1-0, and 1-0 in the exact fixture last season. They've never won 4 consecutive home games against the Gunners before. So Arsenal has gone ahead to have a very bad run at the City grounds, and they need to obviously overturn it this time round. Remember, this is the game that even gave Man City the trophy. If I told Arsenal had gone ahead to win it, then they would have gone ahead to obviously not see City celebrating before they played their next game. Secondly, Arsenal have won 5 of their last 6 Premier League games against Nottingham Forest, and they have 1 loss, and are looking to do the double over them in the competition for just the second time, also 1998 to 1999. So Arsenal have something to fight for in this game again. Thirdly, since their return to the Premier League last season, Nottingham Forest have dropped 46 points from winning positions, at least 11 from any other side in the competition. Have you heard? So that's also one of those head-to-head stats that gives Arsenal a lot of hype, that even if Nottingham goes ahead to obviously score first than Arsenal, then that won't worry Arsenal fans because they've gone ahead to lose very many points in losing positions. Then we go to the 4th head-to-head. No side have kept more Premier League clean sheets than Arsenal this season. They have 8. However, the Gunners are looking to record a shutout in consecutive league games for just the second time this season. Previously, doing so wins against Bournemouth 4-0 and 1-0 against Manchester City in September. So, looks like Arsenal have only gone ahead to keep 2 consecutive clean sheets this season. So, they are looking to obviously come back, having gone ahead to keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace and keep a clean sheet at Nottingham Forest. And we know how good Arsenal are when it comes to keeping clean sheets away from home. That has been part of them from last season and this season. And out of the 8 clean sheets they've gone ahead to keep in the Premier League season, you'll find that only 3 have come at Emirates and 5 have come away from home. Lastly, having won their first 3 Premier League away games this season, Arsenal have won just 2 of their last 7 on the road. 2 draws, 3 losses. They are winless in their last 3 away league games. 1 draw to Liverpool, 2 losses to, I think, Fulham. And I think the other side we're going to have to lose 2. They are winless in their last 3 away league games. 1 draw and 2 losses. They've not had a longer run under Mikel Arteta since these first 6 such games in charge between December 2019 and June 2020. 4 draws and 2 losses. So we all know the bad run that Arsenal had before they returned from Dubai. You know, 7 games they had only 1 win, 7 losses, and I think 1 or 2 draws, meaning that they were really on a bad run. But I think they've gone ahead to overturn it when they are playing against the side of Crystal Palace, and that was really a very huge win for the side of Arsenal. So, according to me, I'm giving Arsenal a 2-0 win away at the City ground. I think the hunger is really huge. They've gone ahead to rest a lot. Remember, Arsenal returned to action on the 21st, and since then, they haven't gone ahead to play any game, meaning that they've gone ahead to rest enough. They are coming in through to play a Nottingham side that played against Bristol City over the weekend, and their side was really depleted a lot. That's why you saw that players like Elanga went ahead obviously even get what we call injuries, and it shows you that Arsenal is going to be fully fit and fresh for this encounter, as they have not been part of the team that really went ahead to play in the FA Cup because Liverpool went ahead to knock them out. So when you look at their lineup, it's almost going to look the same, and I think it's only Tavares is going to be out of this game, but other players that started on, when did they play? They played on Friday, so they're coming in through resting Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and Arsenal has been resting since last weekend on the 21st. So they have a lot to offer onto the game. So we wait and see how things are going to pan out for the side of Arsenal. So that's what we had for you here. My prediction has been a 2-0 win for the club of Arsenal, but they need to go ahead and obviously score the first goal. That has obviously become a song onto this channel, that Arsenal needs to score the first goal. After scoring the first goal, they need to obviously defend better. You know, they shouldn't give out easy goals that they gave out against Fulham, you know, against West Ham. So they shouldn't be doing that. So we thank God for the gift of life. I sign out for now. See you later. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. And we are going to be back in the nick of time. But I had to bring this to you. African Cup of Nations is there. Senegal and I think Ivory Coast is the big one today, and wait to see how Cape Verde and Mauritania are going to really act. Egypt was knocked out yesterday. El Nino returns to Arsenal. Ciao, ciao.